patch 9.2.5 has hit the CDN, which maybe means the PTR is going to be in a few weeks. So, yeah, I think this is what we call completely bloody expected. That said, though, now that this patch is out, next week, I don't mean that'll be it for the raid. Obviously, it won't be, but narratively, in terms of big reveals, like what? There's the raid, then I know there's a secret campaign chapter, but does that happen the week after Zoval gets killed?
No, because that's the epilogue, right?
So it happens next
that'll
week.
happen. No, it's the epilogue to the entire story. So I think that was originally framed as the end, like the final chapter in the campaign, and then was shifted. So I think that might be week whatever, however many weeks it'll be until we get the end of that, which I think is week 5 is when we finish and get all of the stuff, right? The legendary belt.
Maybe, yes.
And then that means that the week after that would be the epilogue. So I think we could be a couple weeks out from the finality, from the final thing we get story-wise. So yeah.
All right, well, in that case, it seems to me that, announcement season should be coming up soon. 925, that'll obviously be a part of that. And, of course, the next expansion, too, will be. I mean, we couldn't be that far away from the next expansion's reveal, right? I kind of doubt it'll be a 2022 release, but I think probably soon enough we're going to find out.
Yes, actually, yes. I thought there was something weird. I'm being told that they said that 9.2.5 is where the epilogue campaign would happen, which is, basically means we're going to get 9.2.5 a lot sooner than anyone would expect. I would hope.
I mean, exciting just for that, okay, good. They're pushing things on. I'm happy about that. 0.25. We didn't get that with Battle for Azeroth, did we? Just N'Zoth got laser beamed, and that was that. So we might actually get some form of epilogue, some form of closure. Yeah. Some way where they'll make the lore make sense, so you can't just go visit your dead granny.
Yeah, that's that's the real thing I find interesting about generally speaking, Blizzard's how they've usually treated expansions is very much a GG go next experience, which is not really how you kind of want to treat a lot of things. It's just straight up, we're tired of this. Just go to the next one. We'll do the next one better, as opposed to seeing anything through to its finality fully. Kind of the thing where if 8.3 had a nice, wrapped up finale and it didn't just feel like we were in the waiting room for Shadowlands, I think people could have enjoyed it a lot more, because obviously, 8.3, by the end of it, after all the hot fixes, turned out her visions are pretty good. Corruptions were a complete shit show at the start, but they evolved into something that was relatively deterministic to put on your gear and have fun in Mythic Plus. And you can kind of track that if you look at the BFA Season 4 Mythic Plus runs. They were really, really high, as far as I remember.
Some of that was just people trying to get corruptions because they were really powerful. There was a bit of artificial inflation.
Of course.
But of course, it was great how the Echoes of Nihilo, the system and all that came in right when we were basically done with the patch and weren't playing anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, how silly. But, hey, Cosmic Flux. It's funny, Cosmic Flux, I think we're all getting so much of it that we almost feel surprised.
Yeah.
I have so much Flux. Dakor, on our raid night, he had 9,000 Cosmic Flux.
Yeah, no, it feels like they've just kind of learned from the problems of you don't have enough resource. Well, here's too much of it now, which I think is it's annoying, because that's you don't want to just say, well, oh, you've tried the other way. Well, that's wrong too. You've sat on both sides of the binary and we've called you idiots for it. But it's it does sort of feel a bit pointless to people.
It's a bit
which
odd,
is
but
fine.
There's no pain point this time. Way, and I think that is good. And I wonder if that flux is being paced. Oh, Dakor has 25,000 Cosmic Flux now. Yeah. I wonder if they're pacing it such that a new player, a new alt, maybe a few weeks into the creation catalyst existing, so that new alt will just be able to go bam, 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 bam. Here's my 4 set, super quick. Fairly sure they will have paced the Cosmic Flux for that.
Because if I remember correctly, the point of the catalyst is that you can just the cooldown charges of it are banked. So if you have the flux, you can just do whatever you want as soon as you hit there, which I think
I believe they're banked from the day the creation catalyst comes out, not the day your character gets access to it. I think. Yeah. So they're basically, it's a decently elegant little system. It's nice if you're really pissed off that you can't get your 4-piece. You can just target a whole bunch of chests, no matter where they come from. As long as it's Season 3, you get you get your tier.
I mean, I think it's interesting. Donuts is a name that occasionally has some pretty decent commentary. If they're giving us so much, why even bother having a currency? And I think that's the point where we're kind of in a middle ground where you would ideally want the currency to be like, okay, you go and do things and you feel like you're rewarded for it. So it's that case of they couldn't just have it use no currency because then people would just do whatever they wanted, and that feels a bit weird as far as general World of Warcraft design. So it's sort of like we kind of have to do this because it's how we always do it, as opposed to if you had a real big rethink, maybe you'd make it completely free. But I think I guess for the player experience, that's fine as it is. Really,
yeah, absolutely. And it'd be nice if this 0.25 patch maybe had some rewards on some other things other than player power, because you're getting this cosmic flux for doing everything, right? So, I mean, like, what if that was to give you like a little XP boost, or just any number of kind of like cool end of expansion items, something like that. I mean, I know that people could say, all right, well, if you put an XP boost in, then that's just there forever. So I guess maybe you got a time limited way. Yeah. Hard to know exactly, but whatever, Cosmic Flux. I think, it's good the way that it is right now, but perhaps there's an opportunity for this 0.25 patch to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
So there you go. Right, patch.
Actually, I will say, if I'm thinking about the reason there may not be a whole pile of rewards, it might just be down to the fact that they're like, we've capped out everything we can actually use resources-wise for getting content into 9.2, but maybe there's a little bit of the cut and run Warlords thing going on, where they know, well, we put a whole bunch of time and a whole bunch of effort into Legion and having content saved us, so maybe that's what they're kind of trying to do, and that's like, they're taking the loss now to get the bigger boost of content in base 10.0, because obviously base 9.0 was, relatively celebrated because of the content there, so maybe that's maybe that's what they're doing, and if that's the case, then absolutely go for it. Like,
it'll just be interesting to see if 9.2.5 ends up having content or systems or grinds or anything that could elongate this period of the patch. Perhaps maybe to give them a little bit more time for the new expansion. Hard to say exactly, but anyway, we'll find out pretty soon.
Indeed.